Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm joined by Sam. He is the master model builder here at LEGOLAND Discovery Center, Bay Area in the San Francisco area. And we are standing inside the world's largest LEGO roller coaster right now. I'm a little bit nervous, but this looks like it's made pretty well. So what can you tell us about the size of this thing?
All right, well, that flag up there is about 9 feet tall. So that's where they start off at. And then we've got roughly, I just recalculated the distance. It was 49 meters of track, running track, about 30,000 pieces, which is surprisingly not a lot for something this big. And then we've got, what else was there? We got 3 lift hills here. There are 4 of the new loops. There's the 4th one. And then we've got a 90-degree drop right there.
That drop is crazy.
Oh yeah, yes. I was very surprised that that worked. I was like, I started here and I thought, well, can we go even further? And then at some point I had to bring it, I had to bring it back because it was too low, and conservation of momentum with the roller coaster. And then of course the triple spiral right at the end. Oh, could you give that guy a little bump? Looks like he got stuck.
Oh, there we go. Sometimes they just need a little encouragement.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes back to the beginning there and they start their journey back to the top.
That's right. So, we're in the front window display area here. So everybody looking out there, walking by the mall can see this behemoth.
Yes, I love that. So talk a little bit about kind of the design process of a build of this scale and this size, which also, of course, has to have all this running equipment on it.
Yeah. So, it's a Lego sculpture, but it's also a kinetic sculpture. And with Lego, that can be a little nerve-wracking because it's not glued, and if all that motion can shake things apart. So it's structural engineering, but also fun design stuff because you want it to look really cool. A roller coaster is not just a train track. Oh, right, let me show you. So the DNA of this are these cores right here. So this is 4 roller coaster track pieces held together by this snot piece, which is made out of other pieces. And that is how this is all possible. Sorry, let me snap
and
that
this
back
knot,
together.
of course, is the classic studs knot on top, kind of sideways building, and that's what allows you to kind of create the structure of all of this.
That's right. See, all of these pillars and a lot of the cross beams are built off of this structure, or some slight variation of that.
Do you know how many pieces of the coaster track are in the entire thing?
Oh, it's only about 4,000. Roughly 4,000, and that never seemed like enough.
You say only, but that sounds like a lot to me.
That's one of the tricky things about being a master model builder, just working with this volume of Lego, is sometimes you type in, okay, I'm going to need 500 Technic pins, and that's a small bag or whatever. And it's like, well, do I need 500 track pieces, or do you need 1,000? And then it's just like, get 2,000 just in case, and then 2,000 shows up and it's not enough. It's like, next time I'll get 4,000.
So with a build of this size and this type of a build, are you building this digitally, or is this all just kind of physically putting stuff together? What's that process like?
So I tried to do this digitally, but the problem with my Lego building software is it doesn't simulate physics. So really all I could do was digitally say, all right, it's going to be this tall at one point, and then the lowest point will be there. And this is my building window. You notice we start on one side and we end pretty much on the other side. And the only reason it's not taller than that is because we've got a fire alarm up there, we've got the roof up there. I really couldn't build any taller without being afraid of messing with something up there. And actually, part of the reason it's this tall is, to do all these loops, but also when I was building this in my workshop, which I had to build this in segments in my workshop back there and then bring it up here, I was just like, all right, I'll make it that tall. It's still sturdy? All right, I'll make it that tall. It's still sturdy? I'll make it that tall. It's still sturdy. It's like, when is this going to physically break itself by being this size? And I don't even think I hit that limit yet. If the roof was taller, I think it could go maybe 2 or 3 more feet.
That's amazing. I love the idea of just kind of pushing it until it's like, where can we physically not go any further?
Yeah. There's a lot of the design choices in, especially some of these yellow areas, which were built, after I built the orange area, are design choices because I was running out of pieces. So you see some of these things that lock in between here are not made out of the cores.
Yeah.
because I ran out of thousands of these. I even had to ask the master model builder from the Discovery Center Dallas to send more of 2x4 plates. It just used so many, thousands of them. They're everywhere. They're, like, if these are the iron beams holding it together, those are the rivets that are just in every connection point. And then some connection points have like about a dozen of them, just because there's 4 on the side, 2 on each side. Yeah.
How many times have you had like a major mishap where something is broken? Especially, you know, we're standing in the middle of this right now. Have you ever like accidentally just kicked down a support?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you'll notice these red bases here. Those are to hold it up, obviously, but they're solid Lego brick, and each one of them weighs about 2 pounds. And that's because, you know, you need something heavy to keep it from ricking it around.
Woo!
Yeah. Even so, when I'm in here building it and, you know, twisting around, I can definitely knock something over. When I'm doing maintenance on here throughout the day, it's generally lining things up to make sure they're still square with the other side, because yeah, it's very easy to knock one of those over, twist them around a bit. But that's another good thing about this design is it's supple. It bends. Like, you give that a little wiggle there. It looks scary, but it's not really going to fall
It's California
over.
earthquake ready.
Yeah. So there's a lot of jiggle to it that just doesn't compromise the structure. And I think that's really why it's held up, is because, you know, as these roller coaster cars are running around there and they're exerting a lot of force on the angles and everything, or making it click like that, it can just absorb that like a spring.
So, of course you've got the massive model here, but this is also in a very public area at the Discovery Center here. You have the public coming through, you know, all day. So what are the challenges of keeping something like this going with the moving parts as well as kind of maintaining it with the public?
The chains, I thought the chains would be more of a weak link in something, because each one of those chains on this big hill here, it's about 27 feet going up and down. It's almost 2,000 of those individual links.
Wow.
And I thought for sure, oh, I bet this chain won't even be strong enough. We'll have to build it in 2 small sections. And then we tried it, and it's like, it hasn't broken yet, so it seems all right. Something that we learned from another kinetic sculpture we had up here is, you see over there, that's a timer. So the motor runs 15 minutes on, then 15 minutes off, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. And I think that helps keep the motors from wearing out, gives them time to cool down. And that's, we've been running this in the front window here for about 2 weeks, all on automation. And not much has gone wrong. I think the biggest thing that has happened is occasionally that 15-minute timer times out, and if a car comes up to the, oops, see, right there.
There you go, there you go. Case in point of what we were talking about earlier.
But no problem, I can just put it back together. I have been working on this thing, and there's crowds of people there, and I was about right here, and I full on tripped over, sat down on that thing right there.
See, now you're making me really nervous, because you can do that and it's okay, but if I do that, I feel like it's going to be a problem.
Oh, I fix things all day long here. That's my job. Yeah, sometimes cars don't. So this turns off, and then a car finishes and lands right there. Sometimes when it turns back on, the teeth aren't engaged with it yet. And actually, I was watching your video on the Lego Mario roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I liked his sweeping arm design, and I was thinking, oh, that would be, if I did something like that, then if a car stops here and it's not running, when it turns back on, if a sweeping arm gives it a little push,
there you go.
I'd probably fix it.
So another thing, you kind of referenced some of the color stuff earlier, but explain kind of the story behind this large green section and then obviously the contrasting kind of yellow and red.
Oh yes, that was an intentional design choice made from the beginning. So this is the, okay, let's say technically this is the second iteration of this roller coaster.
Okay.
When I started out building it last summer, that's where all the green pieces were. And it was a totally different layout. It was only about 7 feet tall. You know, I could still reach the top of it.
Super
without a
small.
ladder. Yeah, super small. And it was running about here. It was super wobbly and rickety, but it was my first attempt. And then I took it down so we could put some other stuff in this window. And then when I put it back up, all this yellow stuff was the new brick I had ordered. And I don't know why I ordered yellow instead of green, but it showed up, and so I used it. So yeah, so this is basically all the roller coaster track it took to build part 1, and then all the yellow is the second version of it.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because I can actually see like, oh, yeah. Episode 1 and episode 2.
There you go. Now in your position as the master model builder here, this whole project of this kind of scale and just kind of, some might say, kind of insanity here. Do you get to
Actually, can you give that a little twist? That spiral, those are all on ball joints. Can you give that first one a little twist?
like?
Yeah, the ball joint. Yeah, I think, or a little bit down.
Like
I think
that?
if you just twist it down, yeah, it'll stop stopping.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, just want to make sure there we go. Okay, you can see
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Yeah,
There you go.
I'll try that there, see if that works.
Yeah.
With your position here in a project like this, do you get to decide to just kind of launch in on this yourself? And it's like, hey, I think this would be really fun and be a cool project, or what is that kind of planning process like for the Discovery Center in terms of what models you're going to do here?
Yeah, it's a lot of spinning plates. So, let's see. Because this takes months of pre-planning to get the parts in, and then, there's events coming up and things I have to do. So, yeah, this is the current spinning plate, and actually it's a plate that's spun, and so I'm actually kind of turning away from it now and hoping it stays, hoping it stays spinning all on its own.
So there's always kind of other projects going on and stuff at one time.
But this was one that I was definitely very interested. The first thing I built here, before we even opened, we were having a publicity day, and my workshop was completely empty, and they were like, oh, the press is coming, we need pictures of something, can you build something in like 20 minutes? And I was like, 20 minutes to make something really big and impressive. It's like, I had some roller coaster pieces I hadn't even like put away yet into storage. So I built a roller coaster on my desk, and that was roller coaster 1. Hey.
This is cool, the public interaction
Yeah.
here. You get people coming to the class.
Yeah. So what's today, Friday?
Yes.
Weekends, there's a lot of people here. That's pretty fun.
So you had that small build that you were doing for the promotion.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's very cool to make a moving Lego sculpture. Yeah, there's just something like, I think it's because I make so many small sculptures, it's almost like you're doing stop motion. It's like, well, I've had to make 40 of these things, and they're all the same. What if I do make 40 of them and I make them all in one slightly different thing?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Sorry, I think I lost track
No,
of the
that's fine.
question.
It's cool. It's cool to kind of hear about some of the past stuff you're doing. And then, like you said, there's always more stuff happening here at the Discovery Center. So is this kind of the final iteration of the roller coaster, or do you kind of plan to make it bigger, wider, anything like that?
Good question. Well, it's all a modular system because of, the thing here. So, no, I would like to expand it more, but I'm out of pieces. There's a small container over there that has all of my remaining pieces. And so out of all the pieces I ordered, there's about a half a dozen of these left in there. So I stopped because I ran out of pieces and I ran out of space. In fact, while we were building it, this was originally about like 2 feet closer to that wall there. And so I needed to move it over because the bottom, I didn't start with the bottom. I started almost midway up the lift hill. So we had to get a bunch of our playmakers, and we all grabbed one of these pillars at the bottom and inched it away from the wall a little bit more towards here, so I had enough room to finish the lift hill on that side. But no, I would love to expand it some more.
Lost
Don't worry.
section there. See, we're seeing such a great live demonstration of your daily process here and kind of the things that you have to deal with and the repairs you have to make. So I'm sure this is all just part of the average day for you as you're putting this back together.
I mean, this roller coaster would have been done a lot sooner if I hadn't been breaking it so many times.
If someone would stop coming in and breaking it constantly, it'd be so much easier.
Yeah. But as you can see, I mean, it's every time I break it, it's easy to fix really quick.
Well, this is amazing. So everyone watching, definitely make sure you come into the Discovery Center here in the Bay Area. You can see this incredible model for yourself in addition to tons of other awesome stuff at the Discovery Center that you've worked on. But this is so cool to just stand here literally in the middle of it and watch everything fly by. Keep up the great work. Thanks for taking us through everything.